I lost all the hearing. You know, it was like a.
It was
I think
like
I
this,
broke my. No, don't even. It's not even a joke. Come on.
I know it's
that,
no joke.
You know, and this
that's
is
how I got tonight.
I know, and
huh?
you know, and that,
Blowing
sometimes
my
that's
nose,
the only. Sometimes
trumpeting your nose.
Sometimes that's the only way to shut up a room full of 35 kids in a school is, you know, I remember you blow your nose like a trumpet.
A little bit about my background. I came up, what's the expression? Came up zero, came up with this, what to me is sounds like a buzz in my ear, around 1995, and have been trying since then to figure out, is there ironically, anything good about it, okay? A story that's one of these programs for TinnitusTV goes into a long story about an Amsterdam man who tries to justify his tinnitus by actually talking to and in a way making peace with his tinnitus. In a way, my alter ego here is my son David, and he's going to come into the picture as he has when I got tinnitus, and he knows the onset.
I'm not 14 anymore.
This is David Cohn. Maybe you have a question of me. I'm not sure that I like to talk much about myself. In fact, a lot of people will say, the less they talk about their tinnitus, the better, okay? So in a way, this is difficult to do, to talk even on camera, which is what I started out saying in the first program, okay? I'd rather not be here. It's not my first choice. I'd rather be at the Dead Sea floating, maybe, okay? Just relaxing, okay? So anyway, you act as if you're the devil's advocate for this, what's called for this devil's symphony that some people call it.
I think people might be, you know, people want to make a connection. You know, you're trying to start a community and start, you know, make these videos for people to share stories and to share anything they want, be it creative or be it specific about what they're going through or what they know other people are going through or what they've tried or what you know, because I don't have tinnitus usually, although actually about a year ago I had maybe 2 or 3 months where at night when it was quiet I could definitely hear tinnitus in one ear. I had a diving pressure issue back in high school when I was about 17, 18 years old, so about 11 years ago. And I lost all the hearing. You know, it was like a. I think I broke my. No, don't even. It's not even a joke. Come on.
I know it's no joke.
You know, and
that's how I got tonight.
I know, and you know, and
sometimes that's the only. Sometimes trumpeting your nose.
Sometimes that's the only way to shut up a room full of 35 kids in a school is, you know, I remember you blow your nose like a trumpet and it's pressure and you know, I heard you should never even close your mouth when you're blowing your nose. Not to create that pressure. So in any case, I went diving and you know, I had a broken eardrum and so I've had a little fullness or different issues on and off with it. But obviously, it's a concern. You know, you have it. Some people have talked about it being genetic or having a certain genetic propensity to follow through a family. And so I obviously, one of the first things I can do, and one of the first things you can do, you may not want to talk about it, but is try to...
Forget about it.
No, one thing, forget about it personally, but for others, try to teach what not to do, what causes it, what things I need to avoid. If you blew your nose, you have pressure issues, or somebody has issues with, you said as a kid, one time you said you had tinnitus when you took antibiotics. You know, that means what? That means it may not be fun to talk about, but you need to share these things with me so that I avoid the issues that could potentially cause my tinnitus or a tiny bit of tinnitus here and there to become a serious issue. So
but the question is, do people really listen to another person until they have their own experience? Okay, you can say avoid loud nightclub music.
Well, I don't know.
Because you can always rationalize it, like people do smoking. It's not going to affect me, or there's
I've
more
heard.
benefit.
I don't know. I don't think there are too many smokers who don't realize that it's a bad thing. And you know, I don't know. I don't think when I occasionally go somewhere that's really loud, I don't think I would buy the 2 shekel earplugs at the pharmacy and use them if you hadn't had tinnitus, for instance. And obviously don't know what it's like to go through it on a serious ongoing basis, but small amount of sharing, a small amount of knowledge, a small amount of discussion about it can go a long way. Tinnitus has been a big part of your life in terms of leading you to a certain path or journey, or so yeah, I don't know. So I'm cut as director.
Don't cut, okay?
So talk. I don't know about more about you. Huh?
I mean, I could say there was a hot day in Chicago, the hottest day of the century, and I was riding my bike around the city, and maybe that precipitated something when I went into a store and tried on a noise machine. Is there any meaning in suffering? And you know, to a religious person, a kind of religious person, you have to say that nothing happens by chance, and that there may even be, at least in my religion, there's a blueprint of creation, and God does not allow anything that you can't handle. So therefore you would say, I hate to even say it, it's a blessing in disguise, because you can say that, rationalize that about anything, and it's almost dehumanizing. But somehow together we are going to find common ground here, and I hope that there will be more research, not just theoretical research on where in the brain, in the auditory center, tinnitus is taking place, but somehow are there any maybe medications that, there's a medication called lidocaine that was used by some people and is, which dulls or numbs the sound for a very short period of time. And I always think, well, maybe there's an ingredient in lidocaine that if it's localized enough will eliminate the tinnitus without affecting potentially other organs in the body, such as slowing down the heart, which can be fatal. Huh? Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
It has to be regulated. We're going to be hearing from professionals and lay people, all with a common prayer. You'll leave comments on the, right here.
Below, look at point below.
Here. And we need some encouragement, because we hope we're not blowing in the wind. And maybe Bob Dylan even has tinnitus. He has a lyric about it. Hineni, we're here, I'm here, and you've got a friend. I'm not sure if I should fly out of this picture or
Fly that
director,
way.
fly into the sun.
The sunset is pretty.
Next time I'll read some comments back to a 16-year-old who had tinnitus. You may send in information about your tinnitus. Again, your name won't be used, but the information will be to protect the innocent. We'll not share your name, and maybe the age would be good and what sex you are. But where was I? David?
Next time you'll read about the 16.
Next year, yeah, next time we'll read about a 16-year-old and the trouble he was having, and what some people responded to when to help him.